Hey, what's everybody? What's going on, everyone? This is Sheets along with Adam Perry, and I don't know what we're going to do today. We're going to at least go over the main slate, probably the early. I mean, I'm ready for everything, so I'm gonna. I did the projections for the early slate. I did the projections for the late slate. I was just going to build kind of live here. But if you want to do something fun, I don't know. So I don't know if you caught this, but I won the lottery, the rally on FanDuel yesterday,
Yeah,
um, and I was thinking of dangerously trying to look at the post contest sims, like to see
yeah.
to see
Well,
what I could like glean from that.
was it one of your like high exposure lineups? I saw the Tyler Anderson thing came through.
Pretty funny, right?
Yeah, that
Um,
was we were terrified of it.
Pretty funny after all that. It ended up getting all that on FanDuel and ended up like 6% owned or something like that.
Yeah,
So yeah, so that was obviously like really fortunate, and I was very very happy that the Chase Burns didn't completely explode like he was threatening to do for the first 4 innings. He basically struck out the entire civilized world like 3 straight innings before before the second time through the lineup
that was
got to him.
incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen, the kid's got a future, I think.
yeah, I'd say he
The kid,
reminded me of I was I was in middle school, like the rookie year of Kerry Wood. I don't know if you remember
oh
that.
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Not that
he
old.
reminded me of that. Like,
Yep. Yeah, he was bringing it for sure.
yeah,
Um, so I mean, we could certainly do that, but you know what? Let's well, do they even have post contest sims on FanDuel?
no, you can't do
Oh,
it because we
there you
can't
go.
download CSVs,
Oh, there you have it. Okay. Yeah,
so we
so,
can only guess. Who were your stacks?
well, let's go check that out.
Pull it up. Yeah,
That we can see, right? Like
yeah.
that we can see. So let's see what we ended up doing yesterday. Now, as usual, by the way, if we look at my the results, I just kind of, I guess, the way I play and the way whatever, like I never have any of those situations where I have guys in like first, third, ninth, 12th, 15th, or
Yeah,
whatever it is. It's always just like just one outlier lineup. And we talked about this, the other day, or was it yesterday, where that's just, the stuff I end up having is just stuff I wouldn't have had in a million
you
years.
you came back big time, right? Because you had Colorado, who had like 2 runs and then ended up with 7 runs.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so.
The
Um,
Dodgers had more, but it's the
and
way
and
they.
and the funny thing is, on different contests, like in one contest, like the Grand Slam, like a Milwaukee stack won the whole thing.
Yeah,
And I didn't have any Milwaukee guys
yeah.
in my life. So let's take a look. So
You,
this
you
was
know
the
what's you know what's crazy about this lineup is Shohei Ohtani. It's a home run. He has 22 fantasy points, and he doesn't even have the fire emoji.
yeah.
That's how good he
Hang
is.
on, could you do me a favor? Can you just like talk for a minute? I take a phone call real quick.
Yeah. So
Hello.
Sheets had he had
Good. What's happening?
Colorado and St. Louis.
What's happening?
I don't think these are any of the stacks that we had like a lot of early in the day. So you see how much things change. But the Tyler Anderson was amazing because we were so afraid of it and ended up getting this, winning the rally. So really, really impressive stuff. I think, we could harp on it all we want, but really it's that these are what he said, the type of lineups that you would never build on your own. Like who would
Yeah,
think to stack 4-3 Colorado, 3 St. Louis
yeah.
with Tyler Anderson?
Well, let's see what I have here. So let's
Look
look
at
at
all the ownerships. They're nothing other than Otani.
let's look at the rally specifically. Okay. So in the rally specifically, we had, let's look at, we go here, right? Okay, so team stacks, we had 37, then we played 150 in this, it was a $3. So we had 82, so we had a lot of Dodgers.
Yeah.
And where's St. Louis? 3%.
How many lineups is that?
7 lineups out of 150 at St. Louis. So,
There you go. How
hey,
many had Colorado?
Colorado, 7%,
So
16
you had
lineups.
St. Louis and Colorado in the same lineup.
Yep, and there you have it. And how many times would I have done that by hand? Literally zero.
0. You
So
can't.
no. So let's see, pitching wise, let's see how much Tyler Anderson we had after all. 11%.
Okay.
So
So
I
he's twice
mean,
the field. I mean,
this is you're right, exactly. But you know what? Hands off, run my stuff. Let SaberSim kind of crunch it all and figure it out. Now, I guess what could be interesting is to see like where that actually lineup ranked, I guess, pre-flop.
right.
So let's see if we could even do that. Does it? How would it even rank them? I wouldn't even know.
Why don't you go to like your players tab and just click on all those players.
No, I could do that. I can get the
Yeah.
lineup up, but I want to see like what I'm looking at here. Let's rate it by. How do we want to rate this?
ROI.
It doesn't give me that option.
ROI.
Not even give me that option in this.
Oh, because it's
But let's just see anyway. So who was it? It was
Ohtani.
Tyler Anderson. Hold on. Then was if you can read it off to me somehow. So
okay, you've got
who's at first base?
First base, Michael Toglia.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh no, he was on Colorado. Okay, so
he's on Colorado.
I've heard of him.
This guy's a leadoff man. He must be good. Tyler Freeman.
Yeah, sure. Leadoff man's. That's good. Oh, this is it. It's the one line. I only have one lineup with these three guys in it. Okay, so and this was it, right? So, this was the lineup, and let's see what this. So, is there any way of seeing what this sim before? I guess not.
No, but no. What was the saver score?
Minus 2.78. I don't know what to say. Yeah. So,
but let's say we saw the ROI and it was negative. That's
part
of the new portfolio thing.
It wouldn't have been though, I don't think, because
I doubt it.
Yeah.
But it could be part of the new portfolio thing where like you get these crazy lineups and you get a lot of Dodgers.
That certainly could be.
And it sort of hedges your portfolio.
So, and then this is one of those things again. I resisted the temptation. I posted this on Twitter, then I literally took it down. I thought the only thing that was relevant was I was going to post just like the rally and like how the distribution of lineups work. Because if I paste the exact lineup, it's going to breed that same crap as before. Where did you come up with Cardinals Rockies to get? You know what I mean? I didn't.
Good call. Good call.
I didn't do anything. It's like literally. Listen, we considered their projections. We considered that, you know what I mean? Like we took a look at it.
And you didn't know Tyler Freeman and Hunter Goodman were gonna.
However, I would also say that what may or may not have helped was I did handle it the way you handled it, and I didn't accept anything other than 4 4s and 4 3s pre-flop. So who knows where this thing would have been buried in the list otherwise.
I think you want to do that even more on FanDuel.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think you want 3s and 1-offs and 3 2s and things.
Well, what else? How deep would you go in that? Like, would you go 4-0?
No, I don't play I don't do the 4-0s.
Okay, I don't either. Like for FanDuel, when I'm going to specify it, I'm either going to just go 4 3s and 4 4s. Actually,
yeah, I'm much more comfortable with that. I mean, who knows? The slate size matters too, but it's a 12-game slate.
Exactly. You have any idea? All right, so let's take a look at the. You want to look at the early slate?
Yeah, we might as well.
Okay, so we'll look at the early slate. 4-game slate. Any weather you know of? I'm
looking at Roth, and there's a yellow green in the Mets. I don't see a whole lot here. I think we're probably fine. 10% coverage of a random pop-up.
Okay.
And then that's it. Is that even on? Oh, that's not even on.
No.
Is that Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit? No. No, I think we're good here. So Milwaukee's indoors. San Diego is 70 and sunny every day.
So let's do the same thing. So I'm gonna let you share your screen first.
Yeah, let's go.
And I'll stop sharing. And now you can share.
Where's the share screen?
Still there on the bottom, same place. The little arrow there on the bottom.
Oh, here we go. Replace screen sharing. Okay.
Cool. There you are. So what are you going to use?
So why don't I use? You want to use yours, and I'll use Goldie's.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So let's build with Goldie's.
And what are you building for again? You're building for the lotto for the
early lotto.
Okay. Okay.
So what do we want min salary to be? I mean, I think
that's a good question, right?
I don't know the answer to this. You know, I'm inclined to just keep it where it is.
Yeah, screw them. Let's keep it where it is.
And then stack exposure. I mean, I want some correlation, but I'm going to leave on some of the smallers.
Yeah. So how deep do you want to go?
I think like 3-2-2 maybe.
Yeah, you don't want just 3 threes, right?
I don't think I want these.
I don't want that either. 3-3. So 3-3-2 you'll do, but not 3-2-2. You're saying.
Let's do that. Let's do that. I don't know what the right answer is to that either.
And 4 zeros. You're good with 4 zeros.
I don't love it. It sounds wrong, but
okay.
Let's just see. Look, we can
best case, worst case, maybe listen. There's a 2-hour break in between these. Maybe we could clean it up later. I guess.
That's right. I mean, we could always X them out too.
Yeah, right.
We don't have to play them.
Right.
So okay, let's build.
All right. So I'm gonna do my own, and I'm gonna use my own projections. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make no changes. So I'm gonna accept everything. And then we'll see what we would have gotten.
It's the third start for Mizurowski.
Oh, this guy again?
And he's already 9,500.
Oh, and no breaks, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I like that they're pricing it, tougher.
All right. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do 48,000. Not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna request stacks. But I'm curious to see if I even get any. What I get from it.
You know how SaberSim is taking more long-term results because Mizurowski projects less than like Kikuchi.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's taking the long view. All right, let's see. Where's my exposures? All right, let's move this somewhere that makes sense. Let's go to 150. So what's going to win us 25K?
Well, again, just so you know, what I'm doing here on DraftKings, I'm playing 60. I never play 150 in the DraftKings line unless it's like $5.
Yeah.
I usually keep it to under like $1,000. So I go 60 there. All right. So I'm ready. I'm ready on my end. Like what are you?
Yeah, I'm ready too. You want to do stacks?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, it's Milwaukee taking on Skeens.
Yeah. So what I like to say in situations like this is that these are the days where SaberSim's just kind of in that mood.
Yeah.
And I am getting exactly the same thing. Like, so the first thing I looked at was when you said you want to look at stacks, I was looking at my pitchers exposures, and when I saw that I was getting 3% Skeens, I'm like, okay, I know what's going to happen when I look at the stacks. So you're getting Milwaukee, and I'm getting 800,000%. Actually, 85% of Milwaukee, and for fun, to take a look at the stack exposures. 15% of them are 5-2s, then 4-2s, 4-3s, 4-2-2s. I'm getting some 3-2s, so I don't need that.
Yeah.
And I'm getting 2-2-2s, and I don't need that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to X out those. So we're doing like the same thing except in opposite order. So I'm now, are you allowing 4-2s or no?
I'm going to allow 4-2s. Yeah, 4-3s, 4-2s, 4-2-2s, of course. I don't know. I guess I'll take. I don't know if I should take. I've got 8 3-3-2s, and I've got 3 4-1 with one-offs.
Okay, so I just want to so you have you have some 3-2-2s. You're saying?
Yeah, I like the 3-3-2 better than the 4 zeros.
Yeah, I got rid of my 4 zeros. So
yeah.
So if that's the case, I want to see if that changes anything. No. Still 87%. Whatchamacallit, 87%.
Milwaukee. Yeah.
And
the good thing about that is we'll know right away.
And the other thing is, if you're looking at the team totals here, like my second highest looks like Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
What is that? What you're like? I'm getting like Pittsburgh, Arizona, Boston, Washington, pretty much.
Yeah. So I've got Milwaukee far and away. Then I've got almost a dead heat between Boston and Pittsburgh.
Okay.
47 Boston's, 46 Pittsburgh's.
And you used Goldie's, and I used mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you use Saber Sims?
Yeah. So let's do that. So you do the same. Well, you use Saber Sims. What I'm going to do is I am going to go into the beta and see if that does anything different. I doubt it, but we're going to see. And I wonder again how many of those lineups had leaving a lot of money on the table.
Yeah. The good thing about the Milwaukee's is you'll know where you stand early.
Yeah, no.
And then late swap becomes, you've got options if it does do well.
Okay, so I'm going to do my projections.
All you have to do is beat Paul Skeens. I mean,
Yeah, really? What's the big deal?
Yeah.
No problem. Let's get rid of this. Cancel. And again, just for those that didn't hear yesterday, yeah. So right now, Saber Sim is testing a kind of a new project here, which is going eventually, I imagine, be the main Saber Sim view, where they do some more portfolio management techniques. So I just am kind of just playing with it, unfortunately for everybody. I ended up winning the lottery last night using it. So I'm going to have to continue to keep using it. That's the way it's going to have to be, I think. So let's do this. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to take out pre-flop, the ones I'm not.
Where do you see what I got?
Okay, so let's go. Let's do other things. Let's use 4-2s. I'm not going to use 4-2s. How about that? 3-3-2s. And then for this one, you know what else I'm going to do? I am going to go. Should I go minimum salary? No. Yeah, I am going to go minimum salary just to go a little different. So go 49,000. And then we'll build, and then we'll see. Okay, so remind me of what you did. So you're using.
Okay, all I did was change from Goldie's projections to Saber Sims.
Okay.
And boy,
total now we're at 100% Pittsburgh or something?
100% Pittsburgh almost.
Oh, I was guessing. Really?
Yeah, 97.3%, which I would never allow. So
now again, this is to put in perspective. So Saber Sim has kind of their own implied totals that they put up on the top, and these are sort of Vegas, but not really. It's their own thing.
They're not. They're averages.
Is that what it is?
Everything in Saber Sim is an average, and Vegas is a median. So
right. Okay.
I don't know exactly what that means for it, but it can't be used to say this is the total.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's. This is some interesting thing. So we're going to run the contest sims here. Now you should be aware that if I imagine if you rate by Saber score, you're going to be getting angels.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm just guessing in Arizona, I would guess.
Small slate.
Maybe some Washington. No, maybe not Washington. I imagine the Angels, but we'll take a look at it.
It's pretty spread. I mean, not spread out, but it's Washington? Saber score. I've got 52 Washington. Still the Pittsburgh.
Okay, so lineup groups.
One thing we can ask, we don't know, but is there going to be no like mega chalk on this slate? Just look at the pool exposures. It's somewhat flat, other than the Milwaukee and the Chicago.
Hang on, let me get rid of the my lineups group in here again, and then let me just see something. Stack exposure before I say what I have here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do. What I'm talking about now is I ran it with Saber Sim, the same thing, but the only thing that was different, I'm still using my projections, but I am taking out the stacks I don't want pre-flop, which is a little different than what I did before. I'm also going 49,000 max min salary, which is much different than I did before. Again, that wipes out probably a bunch of lineups. And I'm using this portfolio management tool. And the other thing is I'm only doing it for 60 lineups, right? So I'm playing 60 lineups or whatever. So that's going to mess with those exposures as well. So what I'm going to get, hold on, I'm going to save them all first. And then we're going to download them. Let me just see. And if last night even wasn't another example of it, I'm telling you, it's like it's baseball. The way results distribute, just remove like all your biases. I mean, really, just trust the process and fire it. You know what I mean? Like I see it too often. And you know, the funny thing is, I mentioned it last night. Even though the Dodgers did all right, I mean, I just knew it. It's like the Dodgers end up at 9 runs. Fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's not.
It cost a lot. I mean, this is the thing about Coors on a 12-game slate is like it could score 9 runs, but the chances of there being another high-scoring game or two is very high.
Oh, so now here we go. So now we got guys that are out of my lineups now. So it looks as though I had Contreras projected, so he's out. I had Grichuk projected. I guess those lineups have been, he's out. So that ain't no fun. So I have to redo that. But with the exception of that, I am now it's a little different. Now I'm getting 66% Skins, 54% Kikuchi, and then stacks wise, like I'm in Arizona and the White Sox. It's a rough sport. It's DFS is a contact sport. I don't know what else to say.
You know what? Anecdotally, though, this seems to be what the portfolio manager is doing, is giving you the highest projected stack and then some whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Wow or low hoodoo or whatever. Because that's kind of similar to the Dodgers yesterday.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what we have. So Grichuk is out. So I'm probably going to have to redo these, but just for now, let's just manually change the Arizona guys to SaberSim projections rather than me having to rerun a freaking new set. And then who the other one I said was out? Contreras. So that means that means that Haas is in, and then and then Contreras is out. That's the only change there, right?
Yeah, boy, it makes. I mean, not that Skeens needs to look better, but
Herrera, it looks like I had in. Let me just see. That's the one thing again that I'm not particularly convinced of is that SaberSims or any of the projection systems really do a good enough job adjusting the pitcher's projections when hitters are out. I don't know how much it matters, but it's gotta matter something.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It matters. The pinch hit risk is tough. It's really hard to know how much. Like they say they have it in there. It's hard to know to what extent because it's really hard to do. The pinch hit risk has to do with who's in the other bullpen and all, and available and all these things. It's really tough to manage that.
And I'm going to tell you something else, okay? And not just being results oriented or whatever it is, but with this freaking Chase Burns business, okay? And it was they were all criminals across the board throughout the whole industry. They all had him projected at 12 points. And that's okay. If you want to sell me on on a median, like on the lower side, just because of whatever, but we don't play median outcomes. It's anybody that looked through 2 seconds into his profile could tell you that he's got like upside up the app. You know what I mean? Like that whether his median could be lower, maybe like he had like just a big outcome in his portfolio. You know what I mean? So
that's going to be tough too to do. Like, okay, so they've they've got, let's say, Mizurowski as 14 fantasy points as an average.
Yeah, so look at the distribution there.
Let's see the distribution. I mean, that's tough to do for a guy who's had 2 starts.
It is, but I mean,
he should have
I mean, if he throw it 100, you know what I mean? Like the guy throws
Yeah.
it, you know what I mean? Like if the guy, yeah. So I don't know. I want you to compare. I'm afraid
let's
to do
compare
it
it. Yeah.
to another guy with the same projection, and it should be like a big difference. Like I guarantee, like you pull up a Patrick Corbin if he's not pitching today, but like if Patrick Corbin with a 14, it's got to look different. It just has to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't want to know from it. You know, it's like.
Yeah. Let's see who's comparable on this slate. Like
I mean,
Gore, maybe.
It's a short lineup. It's a short slate.
Gore's got basically the same average projection. So let's see.
But Gore, yeah. Can you put one on top of the other somehow?
No.
It looks unfortunately pretty similar.
Pretty similar. I think
Gore's got upside though. But Gore's
got upside. Yeah. Who should we compare to Gallon or Burke?
Maybe Burke because Gallon can do stuff to it.
Yeah. So let's see Burke. Yeah, I mean, we really need to know what it should be or what we think it should be.
Right.
For Mizurowski. You know, it's funny because on one hand, I don't want to impose my here. I mean, Burke seems to be flatter.
Right.
A little bit more normal.
Okay. But I don't know how much more it should look. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's a little bit more of a normal distribution, but not a ton.
Yeah.
So, it's funny. I was saying not to impose our takes, but when I saw I got a lot of Washington with Saber score, I do have like a bias against Pivetta. Just his stuff has been trending down.
Is that right? How do you know that? Like, what are you looking at?
His stuff plus went from like consistently.
What does that mean? Stuff plus?
It's the new like metrics that measure that use cameras to measure your stuff.
Oh, okay.
And your pitch movement and things. Same with location plus. So his location has improved, but his stuff has not been as nasty. He's falling way down lately. And if SaberSim, if we're correct in saying that they are biased towards long-term results, they're going to be biased towards Pivetta. Here, Pivetta's stuff did improve in his last start, but his location went down.
Right.
So I don't know. I just have a sort of a little bit of a qualitative take, or maybe that's not qualitative because it's quantifying pitch movement, but I do have a little bit of a take against Pivetta. Is his stuff from the beginning of the year is way better than it's been over his last few starts. So in average stuff plus is 100. So he's well below until his last start.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, again, this is whenever I do two slates, it's kind of hard for me to get to all of it. But yeah, so there's some Pirates guys I don't have as well. So I would definitely encourage you guys to, I guess, trust Goldie on the projections, at least for another hour or so. I mean,
yeah, I would just
or just run SaberSims even. I mean, like whatever.
You look, if you can, you should be building. I have 110 Central, so you should be building in like one Central.
Right. No, exactly.
Yeah.
No, but from my perspective, I have to do the projections.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not. So I have to leave a little time, but I got time for that.
Should we do the main slate?
Yeah. So let me just do this one thing, and then we'll totally do the main slate. I just want to I just have to build something with guys that I know that are in. I'm always live to just get a little distracted at like the wrong time, just because we have many things I have going on. So I just always have to make sure that before I move on to the next thing that if like I go into like a mental coma for like an hour somehow, that's been solved. You could start.
I'm going to build with Goldies.
And any weather that we think.
Let's see. We've got Mets is probably fine. Minnesota's got a little bit of weather we've got to look out for, but I don't think it's like an X off yet. Beyond that, there's still some lingering showers, hoping they either play through light stuff or wait long enough to let it clear and then play. Best guess is a late start and play. Let's not worry about it right now, but monitor it throughout the day.
Yep.
Their pitchers are going to matter from there because it's Joe Ryan.
Oh no.
Joe
Ryan slate, huh?
Joe Ryan and Kirby.
And is Kirby has Kirby
Kirby's
been doing
Kirby's
better?
been rough, but he's only 8K
Okay.
with potential to be back as George Kirby. Let's see what he's looked. Let's see, like, if his numbers, how they look. Let's just see what his stuff has looked like. It's been down. Yeah, I mean, his stuff has not been as good. He was at 104, well above average in stuff and location. He's below average this season, but let's see if he's like trending up or anything. I'm trying to use these like leading indicators as opposed to just how he's done.
Right.
You know,
right. Like, were you trying to like get like a trend? Is that the
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do things that I just don't think SaberSim's capturing.
Right. Yep.
You know, anything I think they've got, I don't do. I mean, his stuff is way down this year. But he did face the Cubs. But yeah, I don't know about Kirby, but his price, I mean, he still is Kirby. He still is George Kirby. He's a pretty good pitcher. And he's 8K. So
that's some good pitchers. I got some good stuff to. I mean, Logan Webb has been great.
Webb's been great. Wheeler, Yamamoto, Fried.
Well, Yamamoto's in Colorado, and he's actually struggled a little bit. I wonder how he's going to show up. I wonder if he's going to show up. Fried's got he's always, man, nobody ever gets anything against him. Oh, if Bobby were here, he'd be talking to Matt Boyd probably.
Boyd, yeah. Boyd's looked good.
Clay Holmes, Cabrera. Going all the way down the list here. Okay.
Let's see who we get.
Even Drew Rasmussen is. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. And he gets. I mean, I guess it's a park upgrade in Kansas City. It's tougher for strikeouts in Kansas City.
So I'm building right now with what what projections I have right now. We'll just take this. We can see what this looks like.
We had an 8-game slate. I'm just doing 5-mans.
Okay.
But it's a question worth asking. And then min salary, I'm going to bring it up.
Okay, so let's run the Sims.
The good thing about this is we don't have any lineups and we won't have any, so we won't have to worry about getting new lineups in the middle of our process.
Here's
the Yankees have a 6-run total.
They have a 6-run total
in SaberSim, so it's not exactly 6.
Right. Brady's not bad, right? I don't know. That's
I mean, he's a pro. Like, he's been around.
Yeah.
Boy, he's been awful, but
yeah. So I am,
and they're giving Fried a lot of credit.
My guys,
they should, but
so my guys are coming up right now. So not using any portfolio management stuff or whatever it is, and I'm only, well, you know what? I'm rating them for 65 lineups. But just for fun, I'm going to extend it to 150 just to give people an idea of what it looks like. And it's still similar. Like me, I'm getting Dodgers as top stack. Again, that's the chalk.
Is that Sims or Saber Score?
With the Sims actually.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting. And then let me take a look at while Adam pulls his up. And pitching wise, it's like then I'm getting Yamamoto, so it's like basically Dodgers beat Colorado for 14-1. That's the idea. And then really nasty. So the Cabrera is scary. But that's what I'm getting next. And then the aforementioned Kirby. So that's initial, and that's not portfolio management or anything like that. This is
nuts.
What do we got?
Using Goldies.
Okay.
Guess who my highest owned pitcher is? It's totally apropos.
Is it Kirby?
It's Kirby.
It is Kirby. Okay.
28.
He's third. I'm getting 20 of them. I mean, he's third for me.
Yeah. So I'm getting about that, and then I got Wheeler, and then is it Didier
Who, Didier Fuentes?
Didier Fuentes.
5,700. I mean, listen, you want to get the Dodgers, you can't
get the Dodgers, yeah.
You can't play Wheeler and Logan Webb together. It's like if you want to play the Dodgers.
And then my highest owned stack, I do get the Dodgers as my second highest.
Oh, back to Seattle?
47% Seattle.
Back to Seattle, huh?
So the guy who said we made a good call on Seattle.
Yes, we have another chance to make a good call on Seattle.
I think that's right.
And to that point, I mean, we have to even pay more attention, not that we wouldn't anyway, to that weather over there.
Yeah, they'll be even lower owned.
Yep. Okay. Let's just for fun, we'll do FanDuel, I guess. For that, let me again just save something.
I want to see, like I have 32 Dodger stacks, and 5 of them have Yamamoto. So it's not like Yamamoto's with the Dodgers too much. Half of them have Fuentes.
So many times I wonder if I wondered this back from football, but I'll get back to that in a second. Baseball, whenever we get these like Yamamoto with Dodgers or like whatever pitchers with hitters, I always wonder if you're getting the pitchers because they like the hitters or you're getting the hitters because they like the pitchers.
Yeah.
Like I always used to think about that when we were doing NFL, when I was getting all this like running backs with defense, like what's obviously if it's a really good running back play, the defense is going to get dragged along with the correlation metrics, just the way it's set up. But like, I wonder sometimes if like they really like a defense, if the running back's going to get dragged along.
Right.
The same correlation.
Yeah. It's weird too. Intuitively, just thinking about it in baseball, it seems like it would happen more in smaller fields because it seems like at the average, you get the 4 points for the win.
Right.
And that makes but at the outlier, like you almost want the pitcher to do bad. So the extreme outlier, like it's extra innings or something, like, and the pitcher doesn't get the win, but you get more at bats or something. But who knows?
All right, I'm going to crank up the FanDuel now. Let's see what this looks like. So it's another Coors slate later, but you know what? It's another big slate. So it's I think that people need to understand this. I mean, it's obviously basic math, but the Dodgers are the team most likely to score the most fantasy points of anybody, but they're not likely to score more than everybody else.
That's right.
It's like right. It's like someone's going to score more. You just don't know who it is.
I also wondered this. I mean, somebody's probably done this math, and maybe it's just baked into SaberSim, but okay, a team has a 50% chance of going over a certain number, and they have a certain percent chance of scoring 10 runs. Like, how much different is that chance of 10 runs from any team scoring 10 runs?
Right.
Like,
right.
Is that just such a 2% versus 1.5?
Well, the other thing that's the big problem and like the big issue. I used to have these issues with these guys better than I do, but I used to have these issues with Stochastic when they would talk about they're 30%, they're 30% to be like
optimal,
the top scoring stack, right?
Right.
And that doesn't really help me if I can't play them. You know what I mean? Like, if they're all 8K, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't really help me. If you tell me they're 30% most likely to be the top stack that you can play, you know what I mean? Like that's fine. So that's not to say it's not a relevant stat, but it's be somewhat misleading, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see. If I use SaberSim's projections, my highest owned stack is the Dodgers by a lot.
On DraftKings or FanDuel? DraftKings.
On DraftKings.
Okay.
It doesn't quite make sense. I'm having the same. Let me refresh and see if something changes. I'm having that same problem. No, I'm having that same problem where I'm asking for 150, and it's saying I have 100% Dodgers, but only in 70 lineups, which makes no sense.
That same thing we dealt with before.
Yeah, and I'm not using Portfolio Manager.
Let me see what says team stacks. Like, where are you?
Oh, I see, because I have them selected. Okay.
Oh, okay. So they're in 100% of the one. You have the Dodgers in 100% of Dodger stacks. Is basically
that's right. I have the Dodgers. So my highest owned stacks are still Dodgers and Seattle, but they're reversed.
Okay. In on FanDuel, now keep in mind I did not request anything specific. Once again, they're just you know,
Let me
they're
ask
dodging
you.
me up here.
Let me ask you this too. Yesterday, when we did this early, we got a ton of Phillies. Did you end up with a ton of Phillies at the end? I mean, we're getting Dodgers now, but maybe it's that thing where they're just not, the ownership's just not sharp enough yet.
And now maybe it's that thing again where the
it's not like SaberSim to jam the chalk.
No, it is not. And what I used to think was that if it's jamming the chalk anyway, the chalk is probably like a lock, sort of.
That's a good chalk, but in baseball, it's rare.
But it's not as though, I mean, they're jamming the chalk stacks, but I mean, you're getting all this Cabrera probably in the pitching, right? And like, or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's giving me Fuentes.
Okay, is he going to be popular then? We haven't projected. I mean, people haven't projected.
I have him. Okay, so SaberSim has him projected at 12.
Okay.
Goldie has him projected at 9.5, and yours have him projected at 7.
Okay.
So, but he's not popular. But the question is he popular with the Dodgers?
That's right. Yeah.
What's the combination ownership?
Yeah. And yeah, so I'm gonna answer that question of how much Philly I got in the end. I imagine nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I imagine not much. But let me see. FanDuel, I'm getting right now. Dodgers again. No, I didn't do FanDuel early. You can, Adam. I don't.
Yeah, I could go back.
Yeah, the tournaments
but
are.
I didn't do late, so we won't know.
Okay, that's fine. I'll do FanDuel while you do the FanDuel early. I'm gonna do FanDuel late. So FanDuel late, same thing. Okay. Dodgers, Braves showing up a little bit, Cubs, Yankees, and then pitching wise, top owned player is Austin Riley. But
you know what?
How about this? So in the theme of me taking it down with Tyler Anderson on FanDuel. Top owned FanDuel pitcher is the aforementioned Didier Fuentes.
There you go.
That's 6,300. How about them apples, huh?
Yeah.
And you know what? Oh my God! You don't get a quality start. You know what? When Tyler Anderson got pulled out in the 5th or whatever, I was a little pissed that I wasn't going to get the quality start. But you know what? Didn't need it.
Yeah. Let's keep in mind that price matters too. Like,
of course,
he doesn't have to be the highest scoring pitcher on the slate.
And hey, I got a shout out to what's his name, to something more. So whatever his guy's name was on the Angels, who had 2 home runs. The walk off was nothing. The big one was the one that tied the game in the 8th because I didn't have Crochet, and the entire civilized world would have passed me with the Crochet win.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy I had that was in second to me was. It's so funny. He was behind me by 5.6 points or something like that.
Oh my God!
And then I thought I forgot. I thought that a win was 5 points, and then I came back home and I looked and I saw, oh my God, 6. Ah, damn! So now I got to root for the Angels, and then just more. I think was hitting 0.8 for this season.
Who had more fantasy points, Crochet or Anderson?
Oh, Anderson nothing compared to Crochet. Crochet had 1 million points.
It's the price. It's also these
Crochet had 55 fantasy points. Anderson had 26 or so. I mean,
Well, that's the other thing. The price matters, but the other thing is these contests are huge, but you do not have to hit the nuts.
Not even close.
That's which is why you stack. But the same is the case for pitching.
Tyler Anderson had 26 fantasy points on FanDuel compared to 55 for Crochet.
Oh my God!
Well,
and you just had all the hitters.
I had the hitter. Well, you know what? I had the hitters. That is correct. I had but of course, I mean, you had to have Mason Wynn. Why wouldn't you think to play him?
Oh, Mason Wynn.
2% Mason. 2% on Mason Wynn. 4% on Tyler Freeman, 4% on Norman. All with 30 fantasy points.
You have my username's fake sibling, Hunter Goodman from Steve.
Oh, nice. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I need to win with Hunter Goodman.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jordan Beck,
Okay.
no problem.
Yeah. Okay. So FanDuel using yours for the night. We're doing the
Yes.
night now.
Yes.
30% Fuentes.
Oh, yeah, me
Now,
too.
now,
Me too. Same thing.
now the
Yep.
second owned is Brady Singer.
Well, and the funny thing is when I do this, when I started using SaberSand, and when I come up with these guys in FanDuel, Bobby always because he's like still very fundamental. Well, not as much as he used to be. He would say, "Oh, I don't like him. He never gets a quality start." I'm like, I get
Yeah.
it, but you can't just. It's not just one player. You know what I mean? Like it's a collection of 8 or whatever, however 9 players in your lineup. They
Yeah.
all kind of move together. You know what I mean? And without
Yeah.
without the $6,800 price tag,
Right.
you don't get these other guys. That's it.
Yeah. SaberSim's clearly like it's got my highest owned stack as the Dodgers. So without looking at every lineup, I mean, it seems to me it's trying to lower ownership at pitcher in the secondary stack because I've got 32% four-mans of the Dodgers. So maybe that's just the play today.
I'll tell you something else. Somebody else who runs pretty poorly. So this the guy who got second to me, the guy who's got 221. Like
Yeah.
not only did he like miss out on the crochet win, which would have gotten the win, but he had that Cardinals Cubs game 4 forward, and he ended up with 2 positions with zeros.
Oh my God.
He had and probably the 2 guys I would have used if I had to like Arenado had a 0.
Yeah.
Michael Bush had a 0. The 2 of them combined for 0 for 8 on a 15-run game.
Yeah. Well, what a great example of like not needing to hit the nuts.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like he had 2 zeros and he almost beat you.
Exactly. And he should have. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Or I had 26 points on a Tyler Anderson and won. That's another one.
Yeah. I mean, which is
I like the 7th highest scoring pitcher, I think.
Yeah, this is why you don't look at your lineups.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Exactly.
This is why you don't look. Should we get out of here, or should we?
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna do golf with I have like a billion videos in it. I'm doing golf with Kenny at 1:00.
Nice. All right.